folks, and welcome to the Horror Corner. The hills ran red with blood. Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Horror Corner. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Gershon, and this week we are counting down the top 20 kills in horror history. Yes, brutal murders. Yes, we're getting brutal today. And let's get right into it, shall we? In at number 20 is going to be From Dress to Kill. And of course, I'm talking about Angie Dickinson's kill in the elevator with the straight razor. Just brutal, and it's very stylish as well. A lot of people consider this film to be an American giallo, which I would agree with. Next one is from Deadly Friend, a very underrated film from Wes Craven from 1986. And of course I'm talking about the basketball to the head kill of Anne Ramsey's character from Samantha. Just nasty. You see her head shattered to a million pieces. Next up is from the slasher classic from 1981, The Prowler. And of course I'm talking about the short sword to the head kill from the top of his head down to his mouth. It's just brutal. You see the dude's eyes go to the back of his head. It's crazy. From Tom Savini. Awesome effect. The Prowler is filled with awesome kills and brutal gore. Next up, we have Hostel 2 from Eli Roth. Yes, of course, I'm talking about the bloodbath kill when you got the girl hanging from the ceiling and this woman comes in, gets buck-ass naked and slices the girl's throat with a sickle, and the blood's just pouring down from the ceiling, and she takes a bath in her blood. Definitely a tribute to Elizabeth Bathory, the real-life blood countess. Next is from Chopping Mall from 1986. Yes, another robot horror flick. And this, of course, is the laser blast to the head. You see the girl's head shatter into a million pieces once again from the robot. Next is from Freddy vs. Jason. Yes, from 2003. Absolutely love this film. And the kill I'm talking about is, of course, the bed kill. You know, that douchebag dude that we all wanted to see die. We couldn't wait to see him get killed because he's so rude and nasty to his girlfriend. Jason comes in with the machete right through his back, you know, and he bends the bed in half and crushes the dude's body along with the bed. You know, it's crazy. And it's awesome. Next is from another slasher masterpiece from 1980, and that is Maniac. And I'm talking about, of course, Tom Savini himself, who stars in the film. He gets himself killed, you know, and he did the effect too, and that's, of course, the shotgun blast to the head. So brutal and so gory and nasty. Ooh, it's a rough one. In at number 13, we have Nightmare from 1981. And of course, I'm talking about the kill right at the end of the film, which we see glimpses of throughout the film, but at the end we get the full gory glory. And I'm talking about, of course, when we see the murderer as a child take out both his father and his S&M freak lover. When he takes an axe to her head, chopping her head right off. You see the blood splurting and splattering everywhere. And then he takes an axe right to his father's skull. Just brutal and vicious. Next up, we have an absolute classic from the original Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984. Yes, of course, I'm talking about Tina's death. It's just surreal, it's dreamlike, it's brutal. And of course, Tina's getting killed in the dream, but at the same time, she's getting killed in real life because we see the cuts happening from Freddy's glove, razoring right through her chest, and then we see her fall from the ceiling, and then she falls from the bed to a pool of blood. It's just nasty. And next up, we have a kill from The Burning from 1981, and you all know the one I'm talking about, of course, and that is the raft scene when Cropsey rises from the raft with his garden shears and takes out a whole group of kids, chopping their fingers off, putting the shears right through a kid's neck, and it's just nasty and awesome. Once again, awesome effects from Tom Savini. Next up, we have a kill from Dario Argento's Tenebrae, and man, does Argento really go for it with this kill, and that is, of course, Jane's death. When we see the axe smashing through the window and lopping off Jane's arm, and then we see the blood splurting all through the white walls. The woman's wearing white, and there's white on the wall, and the blood splattering everywhere. And then she gets an axe to the back, and then she falls down, and the killer continues to axe her in the chest, and man, it's just brutal. Next up is from Terrifier. Yes, just a brutal series. We all know that. And I am picking a kill from the first Terrifier, believe it or not. And I know there's all kinds of kills I can take from part 2 and 3, but I'm going to go with the first film, and that is, of course, the upside down kill when the girl's buck-ass naked, hanging upside down, and he takes a hacksaw from her private parts on the bottom down through her skull, cuts her body completely in half slowly with a hacksaw. It's just, oh man. When I first saw this, I'm like, wow, that's just really taking it to a whole new level. Next up, it's from Pieces. Yes, it's exactly what you think it is. And I could have picked any kill from Pieces because there's so many great kills in Pieces, right? But I'm going to go with the one from the park. It's broad daylight out in the park. A girl's just laying down on her towel, chilling in the park, having a little picnic, and this dude comes out with a chainsaw revving up and lops her head right off. I think that's what gets me so much is the fact that, the killer doesn't give a damn. He's just doing it broad daylight, in public, just lopping the girl's head right off. Next up is from the brutal slasher from Lucio Fulci, and that is the New York Ripper. And of course I'm talking about the razor kill, when he takes a razor right through the girl's eyeball and keeps cutting right down through her breast, through her nipple, through her stomach. Oh man, it's slow and it's just brutal and vicious and very realistic looking. Next up, we have a kill from the Great Hellraiser, the classic from Clive Barker. And of course, I'm talking about Frank's death. When he's got the chains, right in his face, the claws pulling his face apart. And then he says, Jesus wept. And bam, they split his head right apart in pieces. And it's so brutal and nasty. Next up, we have Day of the Dead, yes, from George A. Romero from 1985, the third film in the series. And of course, I'm talking about Captain Rhodes' death. We all wanted to see this guy die. We couldn't wait for him to die because he's such a douchebag. In the pursuit from Bub, we see him running from Bub. Bub's trying to shoot him. But then, of course, you think he's going to get away, but then the elevator opens, and there's a whole shit ton of zombies waiting for him, and they pull his face apart, you know, and they rip his intestines out, and man, it's just absolutely brutal. And then, of course, we get that awesome salute from Bub right at the end, which just brings such a smile to my face. Next up, we have a classic from Halloween 2, and I always think that Halloween 2 has some of the best kills in the franchise, and I'm going with the syringe to the eye scene, which is just brilliant. I think it's so beautifully shot, it's like a work of art. We see Michael's mask slowly emerge from the darkness and then grab the girl's face. And we see the needle up close, and then we see it go right into her temple. Ugh, it's just brutal and beautiful at the same time. Next up, we have a kill that's all about style. It's not about blood and gore. And of course, I'm talking about the most infamous kill probably in film history, and that is the shower scene kill in Psycho. Yes, Marion's death at the hands of Norman Bates. And then, yeah, the way it's shot is so brilliant, and we just see, like, the knife going down, but we don't see it actually penetrate her skin, really. It's just all about the style and the camera work and the way it's filmed. And we feel so bad for Marion. She just falls to her death, and she's hunched over the bathtub, and then we see that awesome close-up of her eyeball, you know. It's just all about the style and Alfred Hitchcock's brilliant direction. Next up, we have one that is both style and substance. Yes, we get the brilliance of the color scheme along with the brutality, and that is Suspiria. I'm talking about the opening kill when the killer comes through the glass window and grabs her and pushes her face up against the window, and then the killer stabs her multiple times. We even see her get stabbed right in the heart. We see a close-up of her heart, and then the knife going through the heart. And then we see her head smash through a glass ceiling. And then she falls through the glass ceiling. And apparently the killer had a rope tied to her, so she's getting hung from the ceiling. And not only that, but the glass that falls through the ceiling falls on top of another girl and impales her. You know, we see her. Oh man, it's so brutal and nasty and surreal and just beautifully shot. The visuals are just insane with the colors, and it's literally a work of art. It really is. And in that number one is going to be from the Lucio Fulci classic Zombie. Yes, and I am talking about, of course, the wooden splinter to the eye scene. Yes, the zombie grabs the girl's head and pushes it towards this huge shard of wood and right into her eyeball, and the camera never pulls away. It's just, you see it in all the brutal, gory glory. And yeah, that's my favorite kill of all time from Zombie, the classic from 1979 from Lucio Fulci, in at number one. Alright guys, that's it for the top 20 kills in horror film history. Like I said, these are just my opinions, so feel free to leave your picks in the comments or do a response video if you want. Let's have some fun, man. I'd love to see your picks. And thank you for joining me, Sean Patrick Gershon, in the Horror Corner. Tune in and stay scared. Good evening, folks, and we got some brand new merchandise for you over at www.thehorrorcona.com, and that's CONA.com. Representing the Horror Corner. Great new design. We got the Morbid Hour live stream there. You got the Horror Hangout live stream there. And you got my nemesis, the Dark Fate. So grab your t-shirt over at www.thehorrorcona.com. And we also got this beautiful new mug. Look at that. Very, very cool. Thought that came out really nice. So grab your merchandise today over at www.thehorrorkona.com. Folks, don't forget to grab your Sean Patrick Urshan gear and represent the Horror Corner. Also, check out these awesome mugs we have, perfect for your coffee. And definitely check out the Horror Hangout live stream t-shirt and represent the legacy of the Horror Hangout. Check out the link in the description below this video.